Every day, I get to do something that I love. It isn't easy, and I think it's probably the most challenging thing that I've ever done in my life. But it's a pursuit of a passion that I've had my entire life. See, every day, I get to work in restoring the lives of young girls that have been rescued from sex trafficking through the power of a dream. Now, you might be asking yourself, what does sex trafficking and dreams have to do with one another? And my hope is in our short time together that I'll be able to share a personal journey where I've discovered what the power of dreams in our lives really is. When I say the word sex trafficking, a number of images might come to mind. See, we're talking about modern-day slavery. I'm talking about in the 21st century, we have hundreds of thousands of girls and women that are being sexually exploited and abused in the most horrible ways in what really amounts to an industry that's rape for profit. But what concerns me more is what happens to the individual person, the young girl that is being physically harmed in the most horrendous ways, and what it does to her physically, emotionally, psychologically, socially. These are girls that are being serially raped and are in need of a vast amount of healing in their lives. Now, when I talk about something like this, it typically elicits one of two responses. One is that we're horrified. We can't imagine a world that we live in the 21st century where young girls are being harmed in such horrible ways. We can't imagine that this is going on, and we want to hide from it. We don't want to have to respond. We don't want to have to think about it. The second response is probably more common, and that's that we don't know what to do. It's a form of paralysis. We're overwhelmed, and we don't know how an issue like this could ever come to an end, how we could help a child ever recover from something so horrible in their life. Well, this is the very same dilemma that my family and I faced in 2004. In 2004, we sat in front of the television watching a Dateline special that unfolded a story about young Cambodian and Vietnamese girls that were being trafficked for sex. This special had such an impact on my family and I that we decided that we had to act. So shortly after watching this television special, we quit our job, sold everything we owned, left our life in America, and moved to Cambodia. Now, when we got there, our objective was to help, and we knew that this was a serious issue, and these are real lives. These are real children that are counting on us to do the right thing for them. Well, what we discovered when we got there is there's what we call the old paradigm of help. And the old paradigm of help looks like something like this. It means that we provide girls with shelter, we provide them with love, we provide them with food and clothing and medical care and maybe some counseling, maybe some life skills. But when that young lady leaves that program, the skills that she's provided to be an independent young adult might be teaching her to clean, teaching her to sew, teaching her to make handicrafts. And what's the result of that? Oftentimes failure. It means that girls are going to be re-trafficked, re-exploited. And that's not what we wanted. What I wanted to do was to discover a way that we could truly empower young girls to successfully navigate becoming healthy young adults. Now, when we hear the word empowerment, I think it's a word that's highly misunderstood and misused. See, we use it in a lot of forms, in a lot of ways that don't really amount to true empowerment. There was a campaign not long ago, and the slogan for the campaign was, "If you give a girl a cow, she can change the world." There was another campaign that its slogan was, "If we can teach girls to make scarves, they can control their own futures." Unfortunately, I don't think that either one of those campaigns were talking about true empowerment. See, I think empowerment is much more than giving a girl a cow. There's something that's broader about the idea of empowerment. By definition, empowerment means that it is a social process by which a person gains control of their own life. That means that empowerment is really substantial. It has more with restoring the dignity of a person and giving them something much broader. Now, how do you bring true empowerment to a person? How does that young lady recovering from the wounds of sex trafficking find true empowerment? Well, unbeknownst to me, I would find the answer in a conversation with my daughter. At 10 years old, she came home from school. And she said, "Dad, I want to be an architect." I was thrilled for my daughter, not because I thought she was going to be an architect, but because she was expressing an aspiration, a desire to become something more than she already was. So we talked about what colleges she would go to. We talked about the internships she might have to do. We even went on Amazon and we began to look at books that would help to inspire her creativity. And when she left, it dawned on me, this is the answer. If we can get girls to learn to dream again, then they can achieve anything. But it can't just be a typical dream. Let me tell you a story of a young lady named Bopa. At the age of 14, she was living on the Cambodian and Thailand border with her mother and her 5 siblings. The mother had a hard time finding work, and oftentimes their family went without food. When things got so desperate that she could no longer sustain her family, Bopa became the only asset, and so she was sold into sexual slavery. Over the process of a year, Bopa endured over 1,000 serial rapes in brothels and go-go bars in Thailand. Only through the benevolence of a Thailand police officer who rescued her and helped her get back over the Cambodian border was she ever able to find freedom. Shortly after, she came to our program. She was a hollow shell of the young woman that she used to be. Her innocence stolen and her future crushed. When we asked her what she might want to do in life, she said that her highest aspiration was to one day clean toilets. As we began to work with her, we were looking for ways that we could inspire her and help to spark something more alive and vibrant in her life. Well, one day, we were having a meeting with an organization from Thailand. Both organizations spoke different languages. Ours spoke the Cambodian language, and theirs spoke a Thai language. We were having a very hard time trying to get by with some broken English. And in walks Bopa and immediately ascertains that there's a problem. So she begins translating back and forth for our staff throughout the whole meeting, making things go much smoother. At the end of the meeting, I decided that I would stay for dinner to talk to Bopa. And as we began to talk, I asked her if she had any aspirations beyond cleaning toilets. I asked her, wouldn't you want to be a translator or a social worker or something else, something more dignifying? She began to cry. And Bopa said, when I was a child, I had many dreams, but until now, I didn't know I could ever have a dream again. Well, that was powerful. And I realized that there was something more going on here. We were really on to something. Now, did Bopa ever become a translator or a social worker? No, but that wasn't the point. When we talk about dreams, everyone has dreams. It's an aspiration, a desire to do something, have something, or be something. We all have them, whether it's the car that we're driving, the house we want to live in, the person we want to marry. Maybe it's something more practical, like spending more time with our family. Maybe seeing some place in the world that we've always wanted to go to. But oftentimes, those kinds of dreams die. They die with an idea because there's nothing there to follow through. And what I found is that empowering dreams have 3 components to them. And these components are vital to dreams coming true. The first one is passion. A dream has to be something that resides within someone's heart. It's something that's powerful. It's something that's large. It's something that's vibrant. It's a part of who that person is. We have to have passion. Second, dreams need to have hope. Hope is more than just the belief in oneself. It's a community that believes in you, whether that's your friends, your family, your workplace, your school. That community that supports you is what will help to make those dreams come true. Lastly is vision. Vision is the path, the direction that we're going to take, the tools that we're going to need along the way to make that dream come true. So we took those ingredients, the DNA of a dream, and we began to apply it to the girls' lives that we were working with. And what did they achieve? They became yoga instructors. They became teachers. They became chefs. They began to own their own businesses. And what about Bopa? What did she do? Well, she went on to actually become a counselor for an anti-trafficking organization on the same border where she was trafficked herself, to work with girls just like her, to help them find hope and healing and a dream for their future. When I was younger, my dream was that one day I would be able to help people and make a difference in their lives. And so I leave you with this. What are the dreams that you're pursuing? And what are the dreams that you are empowering others to pursue?